It's the Flow Friday night sports show, and we're talking Eyre Peninsula Netball now. In fact, we're going to have a look at Eastern Eyre and Great Flinders Netball, to be more accurate than that. Joining me on the line, a winner after another carnival victory over the weekend, Jo Franklin, the Queen of EP Netball. How are you, Jo?
I'm doing really well, yes. Much better today than after last weekend. Just two weekends full weeks of netball. It was just a little bit much for this old girl, I can tell you. But when you finish up, when you have a great bunch of kids and a great bunch of parents who supported you all day, and you come out a winner at a carnival with a bunch of 15-year-olds, then you can't be too upset.
Jo, what carnival was that, and which team did you take?
So it was the Priceline Junior Carnival that we hold down in Port Lincoln every year, and fantastic. It was just awesome to see so many girls from all over the peninsula. We had them from Western Districts, East Elliston Districts, so they came from right up the Western Districts, and there was Kimber and just all over the place. Tumby Bay. It was just fantastic, and all of the grades were chock-a-block full. We didn't have any buys. Crowd was huge, and I had the privilege of coaching the way back 15 and under Div 1 side, and after losing one game through the round, they came through the finals, and we won the grand final and took out Division 1, which was really enjoyable. In the end, it was a really enjoyable day, and there was winners from all over. Shall I have a little way back brag? We won all of the Division 1. We won the 11 Div 1s, the 13 Div 1s, 15 Div 1s. So pretty happy about that. As you know, I run a development program there, so pretty happy that they were able to do that. But then Tumby Bay won one of the Div 2s, which was really good. Those little girls were so excited. That was really fantastic to see. So and Kimber played off in one of the finals. So it was Elliston Districts got to the finals in the 15s. So, it was really good to see everybody participating and everybody back out at netball again. It was fantastic. And thank you to Priceline who sponsored the day. It was fantastic.
They're fantastic too. Good stuff. All right. Yeah. Let's have a look back at club netball from last weekend, and we're heading to, first of all, Eastern Eyre. And the Central Eyre United Storm had their first win in Eastern Eyre Netball's A-grade competition. They knocked off Cow in a rip snorter of a game, high scoring. Tell us about it.
Oh, absolutely. They won by 8 goals, 54-46. So that was a really high scoring, and look, Beth Sampson just so excited to get her first win. We did talk about the fact that this would be a close game and that they would be evenly matched. Two clubs putting together brand new looking A-grade sides, and that's exactly how it was. It was a really even contest, just as we did predict, and in the end, the Storm girls were able to get over the Cats, which was a little bit disappointing for the Cats, but for the Storm to get their first win in Eastern Eyre was huge. They had a couple of girls who performed really well that Beth was really happy with. Young Rani Tomney in goals. She was really able to get on top of Nikki Sevier from Cal in the end. And Kylie Scholes, as we know, she was going to find her straps, and she did find them on Saturday at goal defence, and was able to curtail the Cow goalers and assist them in getting that win. And Beth actually put a couple of players on at half time who she was really happy with in Jessica Sampson and Josie Poston. She said they both were pretty strong, and they came up with the goods in the second half to help the girls get over the line, and all in all, a pretty happy Central Eyre United Storm.
As they should be, and congratulations to them. Just having a look through the other senior grades too, if you don't mind. They had basically a clean sweep of the day in the seniors.
Yeah,
so
they did.
They'd be delighted with that.
Yeah, they certainly were. A great day out for them. And, of course, they hosted, it was their first home game, so the after party was quite good as well, I believe, and they enjoyed it. But, look, they were very excited, and as you would understand, Cows, not quite so excited, but like they said, to be able to go to Widner, enjoy the day, participate, in the end, it was a good day all the way round.
Yep, that's all that matters at the end of the day. The other A-grade match there in Eastern Eyre Netball, too, for the record, Eastern Rangers 54 defeated Ports 28. So they're far too good at the moment, the Rangers.
far too good. That's 3 in a row for them, and their height is a huge advantage. There's no question about that. Port's still working on their combinations, and a few ins and outs are affecting them a little bit. But Rangers definitely the side to beat at the moment.
Indeed. This week's matches, Central Eyre United will get on the highway and head to Kimber. This should be an interesting game. The Kind Cutter crew and the Kimber crew, there's always been a bit of rivalry here, and they get to renew it.
Yeah, they certainly do, and won't Central Eyre United know all about it. Look, Kimber have been doing really well this year. They've really put together a very handy side. Whip's doing a really good job there. But Beth's really happy because her lineup will be the same as last week. So they'll actually be able to gain a little bit of consistency, which is always really good as a coach. You sort of like, if you can run the same group through the court over a couple of games or even more, then it's only going to help them get better. And so, she's pretty happy about that. So, they'll have Rani Tomney and Abby Bruce will be in goals for them, but they're going to have a very hard time getting some effective possessions off of Shiley Harris and Amber Pinkgilly from Kimber, who are very strong. Well, they've represented Association East there on several occasions, and very strong and a really well-oiled combination in there. But it just probably doesn't get any easier for them through the centre court. Kimber, Chelsea Wolford, Saran Shippard, the Anzac medalist Geordie McCullum, a very strong-looking centre court there. So the Storm girls are going to have to really concentrate on getting some good ball through there and stopping and cutting down the drive of those three girls. But, then you get to the other end with Keely Bruce and Kylie Tomney in their defence will be, having their time cut out. Jess Clements, as we know, a renowned goaler. Young Lucy Klingberg is really hitting her straps in the A grade, and then of course they've got Alyssa Moore as well. So it will be some very interesting matchups all over the court there. But Kimber at the moment, I think probably a bit more experienced and going to be just a little bit more settled than what the Storm will be on the day.
Yeah, it looks that way. The other A-grade game too, by the way, Ports and Cow. This should be a ripper. You'd think at the moment, the way things are shaping up on form, that maybe Cow might get the job done here, Joe.
Well, you can hope for those girls because I know that they are working hard at it, but then I know that the Ports girls are too. But, both teams are without a win. And so, look, one of them are going to break the drought. There's no doubt about that. But both teams, they're trying new combinations. Like you said, I think it should be a pretty even contest because looking over the court, there's new combinations coming together. Like Ports will have Courtney Grigg and Ruby Green probably in their goals, and so they'll be up against Nikki Sivia and probably an Ellie Burton or young Lila Tonkin, who has come to help them out now as well. So that will be really interesting. A bit of experience through the Port centre court with Abby Harris and Hannah Wolford and Lani Hartwig against a bit of a new look Cow centre court, maybe again Ellie Burton, Laurie Turner, Shannon Jeffries, so some young ones in there against a bit of experience. It'll be interesting to see just how it pans out through there. But, if Ashley Francis and Emily Wycamp down the goal circle for Cow, if they can actually find their range and start putting the ball through that goal post, which is so important on the day, then I really reckon that Cow could just sneak up away with a win here.
All right. Well, that should be interesting. We will move down now to Great Flinders. Let's have a look back at what happened last week. We won't spend too much time on what happened last week. There was only 2 matches. And our Elliston Districts crew weren't involved. But first of all, Lock were, and didn't they towel up Eyre United here, who have got some real troubles in front of the goal?
Yeah, they do. Unfortunately, a young goal circle, and it really is telling at the moment. Look, Lock, 46 to Eyre United 10, sort of tells the story, really. They certainly are doing quite well at the moment. And they're pretty happy with themselves, which so they should be. But Whitney Wright actually had her first hit out with Locke. She played half a game and she did really well. But the incentives there, Jasmine Pearce at wing defence for Locke, and for Eyre United, young Marty Masson, she just gives it her all, and she kept fighting all day. And she actually was on Millie Morton, so for her to do a good job there was really well done by her, and she got the Eyre United incentive.
And Ramblers, we thought this would happen. They were way too good in the end for United Yolana, 57-34. So they look right in the mix this year, Ramblers.
They are, when they can get their act together. They can do really well. Look, they didn't get off to a good start. Young Lacey Manane, she shot the first 4 goals for Yolana. Bang, 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 bang. And then all of a sudden Ramblers thought, we'd better do something here. And Keely Mason, she sort of started to find her feet. And the feeders in Lily Nettle started to find her. I mean, you can't miss her with her height. But she really did start to stamp her authority, and she sort of took a bit of a lead for the Ramblers girls. And so by quarter time, she was able to get them up to a bit of a lead, 12-8. So, after being 4-0 to come back to a 12-8, then they did do pretty well there. But they were missing Abby Lee Burrows and Abby Darlett. But young Ava Pedler, she took the court and she slotted in really well. Kills was really happy with her. Young Lily Nettle then went into the centre and she got the incentive award for Ramblers. And young Elsie Madden, she's going to battle it hard all year. There's no question about that. But for a 15-year-old, she did really well and she got the Equals Incentive Award.
Well, those Ramblers girls will be spectators this week. We moved to round 4 of matches, and there will be 3 games this week rather than the 2, Ramblers having the bye. First of all, quick look at some matches. One at Ungara. Eyre United will take on Cummins Kapini Cougars. And I'm worried about this one, Joe.
Yep, absolutely. Look, the Saints will fight it out. There's no question about that, but it doesn't get any easier for them. They're going to be up through the centre court against a Jet Green and a Morgan McDonald, both EP players. So poor Marty, she's really going to have her work cut out through there. And, it doesn't get any easier down the other end with Ella Wedding goals for Cougars. So, and then, at the other, they got BJ Maroney in defence against the young Brooke Stratford. And so, look, it's going to be a tough day at the office for these girls, and for them, even if they've got the home court advantage, Cougars is going to be way too strong.
You'd think so. Reading between the lines here, I think Tumby Bay knocked off Ramblers earlier in the season. Well, Ramblers knocked off United Yolana last week. And this week at United Yolana, Tumby Bay come to town. So you'd think if you work that out, Tumby Bay start favourites.
Yeah, they certainly will. Out at Kaku, they will do that. And, no easier for the poor Yolana kids. And they are really young. They're quite inexperienced, but, they're happy to give it a crack. And poor Kate Campbell, I think, and Tegan Modra are the 2 there that have got the experience in that side. But, any side that's got Stacey Curtis rallying up the defence end, your goalies are going to have a tough day at the office for the whole day. So Kennedy McNamara is in the centre court for Tumby, and she is so hard to match up on. Look, honestly, then Alex Stratford, premiership goalie from a couple of years ago for Tumby, even though she's a young one, and young Sarah Laurie. So there will be young ones in the goal in that circle, because the defenders for Yolana are quite young as well. But Tumby for me. And
I reckon both of these clubs would have looked at the program when it was put out and circled this fixture. Friends and enemies, frenemies, if you will. They're in the same council area. Locke taking on Elliston Districts. This should be an interesting game.
I think that it will, and almost a home game for Elliston Districts. It's one of the closest grounds that they'll travel to. But look, Locke are going to be missing a couple. In one, Ellen Reid, their goalie, she's going to be missing. But I'm guessing that Kiana Stratford will just work her way into that place and be quite a worthy replacement. She's quite a handy little goaler. Elliston, they have got Kate Lowby coming back into goals, but they are going to be missing Zali Newton. But they're going to put Tash Paul back into there. So that will still be a very handy goal circle. But their experience in the centre court, Lorena Heberman, Charlie Manane and Zoe Phelps, certainly will give them plenty of ball. There's no question about that. But they also, unfortunately for Locke, but very Kate Baker's very pleased about this. She welcomes back Nikki Schubert into defence this week. Yeah, with Kelsey Hull. So that is going to be a very tough defence line. There's no question about that. The goalers for Locke are going to have to work pretty hard. There's no question about that. And then they've actually got a couple of young ones, Ellison District, on the bench, young Amy Lynch and Adele Shepherd, both who are 15 and unders. And I saw a little bit of them on Sunday. In fact, Amy Lynch won the best and fairest for the 15 and under Div 1s at the Carnival. They're quite talented young players. So Kate will be looking to perhaps give them a little bit of a run if she possibly can. But, yeah, Tara will have her time cut out trying to negate some of these Elliston Districts players. There's no question about that. So I think Elliston on the day. Elliston District on the day.
Yep, I think Elliston Districts will get the job done. Joe, anything else before we wrap up?
Oh, I think that's about it. I know that Great Flinders had their association trials on Monday night, so they're looking at getting their teams ready for the Lock Regional Carnival and Country Carnival, and they will be announcing those pretty soon, I would think.
Beautiful. All right, well, good luck to everyone hitting the courts across the Eyre Peninsula this week, yourself included, Joe. All the best. We'll catch you next week.
Certainly will. Thanks, Jace.